Video on cherry cake. So I made some Glace cherries the other week on purpose because I wanted to turn them into a cake. This is just kind of like a quick experiment because I've done some more. I'm going to make some more Glace cherries that are marinated in gin. So I'm going to take, they're in the gin at the moment, and then I'm going to turn those cherries into some Glace cherries. But I just wanted to make an experiment with some Glace cherries first. Did it, and now I'm going to use them in a cake. So I made like a rich fruit cake, and I just used candied orange, and it was very nice. And I kind of thought we can do the same with just cherries. To buy them, expensive. To make your own, a lot cheaper. There's a bit of faff, but it's quite a lot of cherries. So it's like 3 pounds worth of cherries, which is going to make 2 loaf tins. So it's a fruit cake mix. So it's 12 ounces of butter, 12 ounces of dark brown sugar, dark brown sugar, soft dark brown sugar, 6 eggs and 12 ounces of self-raising flour, half a teaspoon of mace, half a teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm not going to put any lemon in, lemon zest in, which I normally do, because some of the cherries are sour cherries. Oh no, I'm actually putting 13 ounces of flour in, because the eggs are a little bit bigger, and these Glace cherries are a little bit softer than other fruit we use. So we're just going to dust them in a little bit of flour, so they hope that they don't sink to the bottom of the cake, and then we'll mix it all in. So, and I think it'll need a better mix in because the fruit's rather kind of quite sticky. So that into there like that, and the oven's on 150 degrees, and it'll be centigrade, I think it is. Yeah, centigrade, because we go in hundreds when we're doing measurements. So it's centigrade, not Fahrenheit. And it's going to be in for about 3 hours. So as you can see, they're very sticky, which I have drained off lots of the syrup that I cooked them in and stored them in. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that syrup yet. I'm tempted to use it with a cordial, or I might just put it in the bottom of syrup sponge. So these want to go in there. That one's got out of the way because that's just not too. Sorry for scraping things out, but it's not very good for mixing things together. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of folding with this. You see, we've lost flour in the bottom, so I'm glad I put some extra flour in. We have to do a lot of folding with this. I'll make the video a little bit longer than usual. You get the idea. I'm going to pause it. I might end up making a mess of my camera. Can we get away with any more fruit? You know, I've got a few more cherries. Shall we have those other cherries? Yeah, let's. I've got some more cherries. Let's weigh how many more cherries I've got, which is going to make a mess of my hands, but I think we can get away with more cherries. And then that'll be another little experiment in itself. So I don't know, I'll have to do something with the cherries, and it just gets a little bit ridiculous. So we've got about another 10 ounces of cherries, which they can go in. Let's put that in, it'll be fine. I'm not too concerned with that. Quick wash your hands. It's messy already. Washing up and washing hands. That's all I seem to do. So don't need that. You need to make sure that the cake mixture is all mixed into the cake into the cherries. Otherwise, we're going to get vast pockets of cherries and no cake mixture in between them. That's my only concern with the mixing it why it's a little bit more. So we'll also have to see if we add too much, if we can get away with adding more fruit than the actual recipe says. I know it's going to taste nice. because the cherries are nice. And the cake's nice. Let's see, well, we know the top's mixed, so we can put a bit of the top in. And we'll just do a bit of mixy. Okay, let's make sure we've gone right down to the bottom of the mixing bowl. I really wanted to do an outside job today, but it's raining. I've got a bit of pointing to do outside, but it's raining and I can't be outside with the angle grinder and electricity in the rain. And it's a dusty job and I've just ended up covered in wet dust. So I couldn't even buy myself a cordless angle grinder and do it, because I just end up caked in all kinds of things. But anyway, it can be done another day. So, there's more cake mixture in that one. Oh, that's interesting. This doesn't, it's like an extra 10 ounces of fruit, but not that much fuller than they normally are. Anyway, that's all right. So these are going to go in the oven about 3.5 hours, something like that. If I'll cover them up ish with a bit of baking paper on, not baking paper, greaseproof parchment. No, yeah, baking parchment. There we go, baking parchment. About halfway through, just so they don't dry out too much, and just so they don't burn too much on the top. But about 3.5 hours, something like that. Not doing anything else. Well, going out for a little bit of a walk, but that'll be fine. Right, in the oven, and we'll see how they turn out. So, the smell, like they're ready. Let's have a look. Certainly smells a little bit soft inside. Let's turn the heat down a little bit. Get that bit of paper off the top. No, it's starting to cool around the outside. That's what the problem is. Let's have a look in this side. Clean and it's hot. Let's take a rest and say they're ready. I'll let them cool, and then we'll have a look inside them. See, they're just starting to cool on the outside, which I'm not entirely happy about. But I think they're fine. Right, they're cool. Let's have a look. That one's a little browner. Let's have a look at that one. A little bit warm actually, but not to worry. Sunk slightly in the middle, but that's probably down to all the fruit that I put in. Oh word, it's very dark, isn't it? Loads of fruit in it. And the fruit's like sunk as well. But not to worry. That's delicious. That's delicious. Let's spit bits of cake out. Well, the only problem is cake mixture hasn't got into all of the cherries, so that's a little bit of a problem. So if the cherries aren't cut in half, then the cake mixture doesn't get into them, which is a little bit of a problem. And it's very dark, and I think that's because I use all brown, all dark sugar. But it's very chewy, and that's down to the cherries. I mean, it looks really dark as that. It's not as dark as it looks. That's just as light as that. Give that a couple of months in an airtight container to mature, and that's going to be even more delicious than that. Now, yes, so there's a bit of a tester, and then when I've candied the cherries that are soaking in the gin, we'll make another one, and it'll be like the best cherry cake ever.